Jesus said, listen, if anybody wants to enter into the kingdom, he has to become like a little child. Anybody raising a child? Anybody raising a grandchild? What do they not have a problem doing? Asking. Jesus is traveling from town to town on his way to Jerusalem. He's going to Jerusalem because he's going to be arrested. He's going to be put on trial. He's going to be beaten, crucified, and 3 days later rise again. That's the greatest miracle of all. We're going to talk about that in a couple of weeks. He's on his way to Jerusalem, going from town to town. On his way, he's traveling. He's got a crowd of people around him, and his disciples are with him. And there's a guy on the side of the road, a blind man, and he hears that Jesus is coming. And he screams out, Mark chapter 10, he says, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And the crowd, they're upset. They don't like this guy. They don't want him to interrupt, so they tell him to shut up. They tell him to be quiet. Maybe Jesus was teaching a little sermon as he was talking. The crowd was around him, and they couldn't hear what Jesus was saying because this guy was yelling. Look what he does in response. The man yells even louder, Son of David, have mercy on me. Here's the first truth I want to pull from this story that has to do with the miraculous. Asking is the way of the kingdom. This man was bold, and he was loud, and he was asking. Now, miracles don't always require an ask. Sometimes God takes it upon himself to do certain things, okay? But a lot of times there's an ask. If we want to be involved in the miraculous, we have to ask God. Jesus said one time, in fact, in the same chapter, Mark chapter 10, a few verses higher, Jesus said, listen, if anybody wants to enter into the kingdom, he has to become like a little child. Anybody raising a child? Anybody raising a grandchild? What do they not have a problem doing? Asking. Our children are now young adults, and so there's less asking going on. But man, when they were small, it was bold, it was consistent, it was repeated. Asking for this, for that, for this, for that. Shamelessly. Anybody? Right? Jesus says, unless you become like a child who boldly, shamelessly, courageously, repeatedly, like a broken record, asks. I wonder if that's what Jesus meant when he said, unless you become like a child, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Jesus made this abundantly clear that asking is the way of the kingdom. Listen to Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Ask, there it is, and it'll be given to you. Pretty simple, don't you agree? Yes or no? Right? Ask, it'll be given to you. Seek, and you'll find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. And then Jesus repeats himself. Listen, anytime Jesus repeats himself, listen, you got to pay attention. Okay, he's doubling down. He repeats himself and he says, for everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks the door will be open. Asking is the way of the kingdom, but we adults, we're not so good. When we were kids, we asked a lot, but now we're mature. We're in our late 20s, mid 30s. How many mid 40s out there? Come on, show me some love. See the gray coming in here? Mid 40s. How many 50s out there? 50s? Any 60s? 60s? Yeah, 60s. Show me the 70s. Oh, you guys are real mature. Okay, yeah. You guys don't ask for anything. You're 70. As we grow up, we're like, I don't ask anymore. I don't ask. Asking's for children. Why don't we ask God? Like this blind man on the side of the road, have mercy on me. He's asking. He's asking for a favor. He's asking for divine intervention. He's asking for a miracle, like people don't get their sight back. But he had heard through other sources that Jesus was a miracle worker, that he would interrupt the normal course of action from time to time, and he would heal people. Son of David, have mercy on me. Boldly, courageously, shamelessly. Even when the crowd was telling him to shut up, he yelled even louder. Why don't we do that?